Kahaloam, Yahweh, Bashim, Yahushua, Bashim, Kachodash, and double honors to the apostles and elders of the great millstone, and peace salutation to the icon doing his work, and true to sincerity in the four corners of the earth. All right, I want to do this lesson. All right, going into the current state of the Babylonian economy. Okay, and what's been going on. You know, you got these layoffs that have been happening at different companies. You know, like Intel. You know, you're gonna have a future layoff coming, and I believe it was October. You know, for one of those auto manufacturers in Detroit. You know, I think it was either Ford or Chrysler. You know, so they're gonna do a they got a predated layoff. You know, which hey man, that that shit is stressful, man. To them people that have been on them career jobs, they've been working at. You might be working at Ford or Chrysler for 30 years. You know, even uh, your dad got you on at Chrysler. You might got an uncle that got you on. You know, and you done had this continual employment for so long. You know, and you're making a decent living. Well, you're gonna have thousands of those people, getting laid off, and those are just the big name companies. They don't mention the smaller name companies, the smaller brand, companies that got to do layoffs. The mom and pop warehouses or small machine shops or bakery, a local bakery, some shit like that. They don't mention those. And also they say on the jobs report, last year there was only a creation of 55,000 jobs throughout all of America. So what does that tell you, man? It's some shrinkage going on, man. You know, so hey, that unemployment rate is gonna be through the roof. All right, they say I could look that up. They're saying that it's a plant, in San Antonio, which ain't far away. Um, They're about to have a layoff at a what they call that shit? Bimbo bread layoff. They about to have a big layoff. You know, they say, okay, Bimbo Bakeries USA is set to lay off 138 workers by early October. Okay, so no more your pastries, man. Okay, and that's right there in San Antonio. Them Jakes in San Antonio can't afford to lose their job at Bimbo, man. You know, San Antonio is an impoverished city. You know, full of Northern Kingdom, man. They can't afford to lose them jobs, but hey, that's what's gonna happen. All right, and the Fed has raised interest rates. They've been doing some they quantitative easing. You know, so they raising these interest rates. All right, trying to lower inflation because that's the only way that you can have any effect on inflation. But it's too late. The bubble has already been created. All right, and you ain't gonna be able to reduce the air in that bubble. All right, that bubble is gonna have to pop. All right, because we're talking about trillions of dollars, in debt. Okay, and what happens when those interest rates go up, and people are struggling to survive, and they don't have money. Just think of that as the reality, of where the economy truly is. You know, when those interest rates go up and people have to lay off and the stock market is selling, that shows you that that's really the reality of how bad the Babylonian economy really is. You know, that's the truth of how bad America is really doing. All right, and it's really worse. It's far more worse. All right. Now, what's going to happen is the people, all right, you even got the presidential candidates, and it looks like they're going to go into it on this article. They begging for the Fed to cut interest rates. All right. They want them to cut interest rates down, okay, in order for these companies and these people to be able to borrow more funny, fake money, all right, from the Fed. Okay? And with that fake money, what do these companies do when they get this fake money, man? Do they give it to their employees? Do they start more um, enterprises? Do they build up? Do they get more engineers? Do they get more creative? No. That same funny money that they get from the Fed with those low interest rates, all right, pretty much free money, they just funnel it right back into the stock market, man. They funnel it back into, their stocks, okay, just to make the company look good, to make the company look like, they're doing something, man. All right, and to be able to take all this money from the damn shareholders, okay. That's all these companies do, man. All right, and then people will be able to borrow more money with a lower interest rate, man. But right now, it's not possible to do that because the interest rates are high. Okay, so you're not benefiting if you go off and take a loan, man. You're not getting that funny money, man. All right, and all these companies are in fucking debt, man. Okay, they billions of dollars in debt. All right, all the way from your local little companies that you pass by when you're driving, man. Companies be in fucking debt. All right, if they in the stock market and they got uh how do you call it? They openly traded. They a publicly traded company. They certainly are in debt. You know, and guess what? If you cut them interest rates, man, all right, which they saying they planning on doing in September, the inflation is gonna get even higher, man. Okay, that inflation is gonna get even more higher. All right, so hey, man, hey, cut the rates, man. Fuck it, cut the rates. So that inflation can get even more higher. Then people gonna be even more confused, because people don't know how the Federal Reserve works. They don't know how this economy works. Okay, they don't yet. Do they even try to figure it out? They're just a bunch of idiots, man. Even people that are millionaires, here in America, don't even know, how this economy works, man. Because they'll get on YouTube and tell you, buy real estate, do this and do that, do this, all right, but don't know that this economy can't go on for much longer, man. All right, this can't keep going on, man. I don't give a damn how much money you save up in your bank. All right, it don't fucking matter, or how much money you got in your 401k or your Roth IRA when inflation is gonna eat that shit up anyway, man. All right, you got people that put money in their bank and was saving up to get their dream home. All these years, somebody could have been saving up money for 5 to 10 years to go get them a house before the Crown Royale came about. And what happened, man? The value of the money was depreciated. So that house that they wanted to get for $250,000 that they were saving up on for 5 to 10 years, now that same house is $400,000, $450,000, man. All right, so now they priced out, you know, which just goes into this society, man. It's a society. This nation was built on lies, man. Okay, built on lies and corruption. Okay, you got the morality uh, corruption. All right, the disgustingness that's being pushed. The filthiness, the abomination that's being pushed, the adultery. And then on that other hand, you got the how the scriptures say, unbalanced, man, an unbalanced economic system, man. All right, the scales are not in the balance, man. The scales are pushed are made against you. All right, made against the people. All right, made against the entire public. And are put in the hands of the elites. All right, so the scales are not weighted here in America, man. All right, the silver is being the silver coins are being shaved. All right, it's a people are getting impatient with the Federal Reserve. For the past year, the Fed has kept interest rates at the highest level in more than 2 decades. You know, hey, they have to. You know, they have to. And look at that, man. For the past year, the Fed has kept interest rates at the highest level in more than 2 decades, man. So that was 2 decades and more of time of the Fed just printing out that funny money, man. And you wonder why, you are in the economic downturn that you are in now. All right, but it ain't over. Okay, it's saying making it more expensive to get a mortgage, borrow money, and pay off debt. How the hell you gonna pay off debt with more debt? You know? How the hell you gonna pay off debt with more debt, man? That don't make no damn sense. You know? But that's what I'm saying. This is a difference between lies and truth. You know? The truth is they don't got it. These people don't got it. All right? America truly does not have it. All right? All right? Raising them interest rates shows the truth of the economy, man. It shows that these people really don't have no damn money in their pockets, man. All right, and then you're dealing with this inflation, okay, showing you that hey man, it's over. You know, Trump was all big and bad, gloating about how all these Latin American countries and these West African countries and all these different countries are shithole countries. Well, guess what, man? Babylon is a fucking a shithole, man. All right, it's just a shithole covered up with that gold leaf, you know. But once you get them leaves out the way, you see that it ain't nothing but shit. It's shit mixed in with leaves, man. Okay, with gold flakes, you know, making it more expensive to get a mortgage, borrow money, and pay off debt. Why is borrowing money even in the same sentence as pay off debt? This is complete bullshit. They say now the central bank is mulling over when to do something it hasn't done since the darkest days of the pandemic, cut interest rates. 'Cause that's what they were doing during the pandemic, man. Everybody had paper. People was papered up, even with that high interest. People was still getting money. Uh, Not the high interest with the high inflation. People was still getting money. Stimulus checks was being put out. To so-called stimulate the economy. Which that added even more, even more to the debt. All right, how the hell you gonna give? I believe it was I don't know how many stimulus checks was sent out there, but I'm gonna assume it was at least about a third of Americans, kind of got a man. Let me just for sure, man. Yeah, so more than 776 million payments totaling $814 billion in financial relief. Okay, so that's almost $1 trillion in debt. Was created in a year. You know, in a whole year, man. But hey, you can't tell the people nothing. They was happy they got their checks. They didn't give a shit. All right, and the government didn't give a shit. Okay. Then you have people getting the PPP loans. All right, I'm telling you, money was flowing during the Crown Royale. Everybody at home getting paid. You know, man, you had people at the house getting paid more than people that was at work. All right, it happened to me. I'm sitting there working 40 hours, and the people that got laid off at my company was making double what the hell I was making at the house off of the overtime, not the overtime, the unemployment stimulus, man. And they gave that shit to millions of people, man. All right, Esau did that shit on purpose, man. The elite of Esau had that whole scenario working, on purpose, man, to cripple this economy, to spur that debt even more, to an astronomical level, to push it further and further so they can create this economic collapse, man. Okay. And then it created what else it created? It created the people was entitled. People didn't want to work anymore. They figured shit. I'm making more money at the house, or they tried to create some type of form of business. You know, People didn't want to work at because people was getting laid off. They couldn't go to their fast food jobs, so then they started getting unemployment, and now they making more money than they ever had before. That does something to a person, man. Okay, when they get paid more, they standard of living go up in that short period. What was it, 6 months? They get paid double than what they used to get paid. You think they're gonna go back to that regular job? Hell no. And a lot of them didn't go back. So now, the standard is being raised in all these different small businesses, man. All right, now they gotta pay their employees more. All right, or they gonna fucking quit. All right. But Esau knew all of that shit was gonna happen, man. All right. He weighed all that shit before he put it out there, man. It said, but when Wednesday's decision by the Fed to once again leave rates unchanged provided little comfort, but the wait could finally end at the Fed's next policy meeting in September. All right, so they said they might raise it and they might cut it in September. It said a rate cut could be on the table in the September meeting. Fed Chair Jerome Powell said on Wednesday, immediately jolting markets. But some of that lackluster faded later in his press conference as he repeatedly told reporters that a September cut is by no means a sure shot. The broad sense of the Fed's interest rate setting committee is that the economy is moving closer to the point at which it would be appropriate to reduce our policy rate. In other words, we're getting there, but maybe not by September. And just watch, the stock market, man. Once if they go into that meeting and then Powell says that it's gonna be a cut, the market gonna go up. You know, the stock market gonna go up. But if you say it ain't, it's gonna stay down. All right, or it's gonna go down. Even more. You know. It says the only thing you can be sure of is that it won't happen before the Fed September 17th and 18th meeting. The Fed meets two other times this year in November and December. It's looking increasingly unlikely the Fed will lower rates more than once this year, with central bankers forecasted as the start of the year. That's because the central bank will probably want to space out cuts over a long period of time to see how the economy evolves. It ain't gonna fucking evolve. The same shit's gonna happen. These companies gonna take that money and put that shit right back in their stocks. All right, they ain't gonna pocket that shit. Cause what is the penalty for these companies? Taking this funny money, man. It ain't. They just do a Chapter 11 bankruptcy, they close the company down, and they just lay people off. And they retire on a fucking $1 million package. They don't give a shit. It says, and if you're thinking the Fed surely won't begin cutting in November because of the election, you might want to reconsider. And this affects everything. This affects your mortgage rates, your personal loan rates, and your credit card rates. You know, because now people are paying on their mortgage rates. They paying 6%. You see how you got the 6%. Um, 15-year 5%. You know, in previous times, people was paying. You had people getting 3% on their mortgage. You know, 4, 5%. Not even five. Five was unacceptable. 5 to 10 years ago, having a 5% is unacceptable, man. You know that shit is high, man. That's a high on a mortgage. We're not talking about a fucking car. We ain't talking about your Buick LeSabre. All right, that you're gonna pay off in 3 years. All right, of 4 years. We talking about a whole house. You know, that's 30 years paying that interest on there, man, or 15 years. And ain't nobody getting no 15-year mortgage. All right, not in today's time. Hell no. They got money to spend. They got money to burn. You know, so people getting robbed out here, and the housing values are higher. So now you're paying high interest on inflated housing prices, man. You got to be a damn fool, man. This damn economy is gonna tank, and you worried about buying a fucking house, man. You still trying to keep up with the American dream. You know, look at these personal loan rates. You know, at some time past, these was considered, terrible loan rates, man. You know, just imagine this is a car. You know, you're just doing a car note. You know, you go get a car that's $10,000. You know, for 3 years, you paying $300 a month. You know, versus if that interest rate was I'm trying to see, I can't even do the math. If that interest rate was 3%, you'll pay way less. On that car note, man. Don't even get me started on fucking credit cards, man. People doing bad with them credit cards. You know, them credit cards are at an all-time high of defaulting, man. All right, but they still trying to give you money. All right, because they want to. Hey, they don't give a shit. You know, the Fed is always gonna print their ass money. It says, what would it take for the Fed to cut in September? There's no formula Fed officials follow to answer the burning question on their minds, too. When should we cut rates? Powell provided some rough sketches saying that if inflation moves down more quickly or stays in line with Fed officials' expectations, while economic growth remains reasonably strong and the labor market continues along the path it's on, a cut in September would be um, on the table, But ain't no economic growth coming when these companies can't take the funny money, man. Okay, ain't no growth gonna come. All right, they really should never cut. They should never cut interest rates, you know, and just deal with the reality of the shit that the Fed created. But they're not gonna do that. But if upcoming inflation data shows an unexpected rise, let me see. But if upcoming inflation data shows an unexpected rise, which happened in the first quarter of this year, that could cause officials to further delay cutting rates, he said. And they finally mentioned inflation. You see when I read this whole article, and CNN just mentioned, inflation, man, because they don't want to talk about inflation. Okay? That's that scary word, man, because that's reality. If you cut rates, you're going to get fucking inflation, man. All right, period, point blank. Because you're lowering the value of the dollar and the dollars that you got already out there because you just print not fucking money, man. Okay, money that ain't got nothing backing it, ain't no gold backing it, man. All right, and you see the petrodollar ain't even backing it no more. Okay, because the Saudis undid the deal, man. And say on the other hand, if the labor market were to weaken unexpectedly or inflation were to fall more quickly than anticipated, we are prepared to respond. But it ain't going. It ain't. It ain't. The inflation is not gonna go down whatsoever. All right, you can you can forget about that shit. Let me. I was thinking. Let's see, inflation. Damn, kind of lost my point. Let's see. Let's see. They lie. That's a lie right there. They say the inflation rate has declined significantly from a 9.1% panic era peak in 2022. So now they saying that inflation is only at 3%, man. That's an absolute fucking lie. You know, Have you seen a decrease in prices at the grocery store? You know, have you seen that, man? No, man. Okay, the prices are still fucking high. So yeah, man. That's all I got. I pray that this was edifying. You can look more into it. To see the state of this economy. But it's only gonna get worse. All right. Shalom.